Hey YouTube! Today we got something really cool. We're going to do a how to animate. Now this animation is going to be really easy. It's an easy animation and it's going to be an animation of some sort of vehicle. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'll probably just wing it and just do some off the wall vehicle. But you can use this animation technique on your children's video or on anything actually. All it is whatever comes to your imagination, and I'm going to show you how I do it. Not everybody, maybe not everybody does it this way, but this is how I do it, and hopefully it'll inspire you. All right, let's get to it. Yeah!
Oh, hee-ho, hee-ho, chicken in a big ball, like chickens, like to hatch some eggs, to eat 'em up, boogaloo, chicka-boom, chum, I love some Chucky.
All right, here we are. Now, the first thing that we want to do is we're going to open up a new Photoshop document. So you do that and just hit New. All right, and then it says what size do you want it? And I use a film and video preset, 1920 by 1080, and that happens to be the 1080p that I work with on Premiere and that I upload to YouTube. So anyway, let's start a new project. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to where the background layer is, and we're just going to go down here to the bottom and make a new layer, okay? And then I'm going to turn off the background. And the reason I do that is because when you import this into Premiere, it'll be transparent, and then you can animate it like that. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this vehicle. Now, I don't have an idea of what the vehicle is going to look like or anything, and I'm just going to do it off the top of my head for display purposes. So let's go ahead and make the color black. We'll make the color black by going down here and selecting a color. And this is just going to be the outline of the actual vehicle that we're creating. So I'm going to go over here to the line tool, and I'm going to click on line. Now I'm going to draw the car. And I think I'm going to do, I don't know, some sort of car. So this will be the front, like that, and then I'll do the windshield like that, and this is going to be inside the car like that, and then I'll go like this, and then I'll do something like this, and then I'll make some sort of wind diverter, and I'll come down like this, and then I'll go over here like this, and then I'll go up like this. Now that I have the basic shape of the car, now I'm going to go ahead and merge all these layers together. So what you do is you select the top layer and then click Shift, and that way you highlight all. And then I will right click and then merge shapes. Okay, so now it's one layer, and I like to rasterize the layer as well. So let's rasterize layer, and that way it's just makes it a little easier. So now what you want to do is you want to go up here to Edit and Fill. I hope I don't have any gaps. If I have gaps, it's not going to fill the shape, but let's try it anyway. And then it asks you, do you want it to be a color? Yes. So I'm going to go down here and select color, and then I'm going to choose what color I want it. Let's try red. Let's go ahead and do the red color. So I'll go ahead and hit OK. And now, oh, it filled the whole thing. Well, that was wrong. Let's go back here to undo fill. So I forgot to select the box. So let's go ahead and select it. Now it's selecting inside that little shape that we created. Now we go up to Edit, and then we hit Fill, Go down here to color, select the color. We're going to do red, and then you hit OK. Now there's our shape. Now you would want to take off the selection feature, so I'm going to deselect it. And now you have your shape. Now what I like to do is I like to go to the edit and go down to transform, and then I'm going to go to warp. Now warp allows you to adjust the shape. So I'm going to go drag this corner, going to make it a little sportier. I'll drag this over here too. Maybe drag this like that. And now this car is actually a little sportier, I think anyway. So then we'll hit the pointer button or the move tool and then hit apply. Now the shape of your vehicle is like that. Now what I'll do is I'll take the selection tool. It's actually the Polygon Lasso tool, and it does straight lines. So what I'll do is I'll go down here and then I'll follow the windshield up, follow the windshield back like that, go down like this, and then back over. And this is going to actually select a portion of the shape that we just drew on Photoshop. So now all you do is hit the delete button, and it actually clears out the shape there. It deletes that little polygon tool shape. So now I'll go back to select, and then I'll hit deselect. So now there's our shape. So now what I'm going to do is I like to give it some, 3D effect. So I go over here to the layer, right click, and then you go to blending options. Left click that, and then it brings up a sub menu, and it gives you all these different styles. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the first one, bevel emboss, and then I'm going to take this right here, and then I'm going to do the depth of it. So I'll do the depth like that and bring the size out, and then I'll soften a little bit. That way it just gives it a little 3D look, and I adjust it a little bit just to the way I want it. So now we have sort of like a 3D shape for this car we're going to make. Now what I want to do is I'm going to go over here to the eraser tool, and I'm going to select it. And what I want to do is I want to make the wheel wells. So I'll go up here to the top and change the eraser size. So I'm going to do it something, it needs to be bigger than that. No, it's too big. Let's go something like that. No, it's too small. Let's go something like this. So now this is going to be the wheel wells. So I'll hit the, now this is the eraser tool. So now I'll just left click, and then it makes a wheel well. And I'll do the same back here. All right, now that is our sport car or whatever. Sometimes I put seats in here. I'm just going to leave it blank to make it easy. Okay, so now that is our shape. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to go File, Save As, and then I'm going to save it in a folder. Save As, go to Computer, go to Video. We'll go right here and just make a new folder. I'm sorry about that, guys. My computer's acting kind of funny. I added this new capture device, and everything's just wacky. I'm trying to make it easy for you, but it seems like it's making it harder. So I'm going to name this folder once again, Race Car. So now that it's Race Car, I'm going to double click it, and then I'm going to name the Photoshop file the same. I'm going to name it Race Car. All right, and what happened there? I got a caps lock on there. Gosh. All right, now Race Car PSD, which is a Photoshop file. So now what we did, we basically saved the file in a folder on a place on our hard drive. So now that we have this, what we're going to want to do is we're going to need to make some wheels. So what I like to do is I'll go up to File, Create New, And we're going to name this wheels. And you really only have to make one wheel, but we're going to name it wheels anyway. And we'll go back down here and we're going to make a new layer. You see over here is your layers. Turn off the background layer so it's transparent. And then we're going to go up here to the, let's go to the, what is this called? This is called the Elliptical Marquee tool. So then anywhere in the center, it doesn't matter where, because we're going to crop it to make it perfectly square. So when you drag this, you're going to see your width and height. Just make sure those numbers are the same. That way you know it's a perfect circle. And sometimes, for me, it's a little hard to get it exact. So there it is. Right there is a perfect circle. So then you want to go back up here, and then you want to hit Edit, and then Fill, and then we're going to select black, because like I said, this is going to be the wheel here. So then we hit black and hit OK. So now we've got, well, let's deselect it. So now we have this a perfect circle as the wheel. Now what you want to do is, for me, I like to kind of make spokes. So I go over here to the shape tool, I go to the custom shape tool, and then I look at the different custom shapes. And I will select something that kind of looks like spokes or whatever. So there's all kinds of shapes you can use. But I think I'm going to choose, let's see. Let's choose this. And it's going to look like a flower, but that's okay. And then what you want to do is hit another layer. So that way, whenever you do it, see, it's not going to be perfectly in the center. And you're going to want to make this exactly the same size as well. So it's a perfect circle. And come on, come on. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, almost had it. Oh. There it is right there. Now, that is a perfect in size by height and width. So now that we have this selected, this layer up here, go back to your selection tool, and now you can move this anywhere you want. So I'm going to put it, it snapped in the center of it, I think. It looks pretty good. You can always drag, and that's in the center. So let's go ahead and drag this one as well. And that's perfectly in the center. So what we want to do is now we, up here, go to the corner of this layer, double click, and then you can, it says add color overlay. So I'm going to change the color of the wheel or the spokes red as well. All right. So now that's our wheel. It's not pretty. It's just very simple and basic, but it is our wheel. So now what you want to do is you want to crop this because you want it to be exactly in the center. So when you go to animate it, and the easiest way to do that is right here in the middle, you see this little crosshairs. You want to put that in that center dot. That way you know it's center. So we'll go down here and use the crop tool. And what we want to do is we want to have the up here at the top the same distance as down here at the bottom. And you'll figure that out by the little crosshairs. So here we go. Now we want that crosshair right in the middle. And if you see, it's not directly in the middle. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring this down just a hair. Oh, it popped on me there. Now that's in the center. It looks like it needs to go over just a hair. And that is almost center. There, that's center. Okay, you see the crosshairs is right in the middle of that. So what you want to go is hit your it's called a move tool. I call it the select tool, and then you hit crop. All right. Now this wheel is in the exact center of this square that we've made, and we know it's exact center because if you go like that, see, it's actually, you take your these little line tool, or they're actually, you go up to view, and they're called guides. And you can create a new guide, you can clear the guides, but I'm not going to clear them. I'm going to leave them there because I like to use them. And it automatically put guides in there when I did the video new project. So anyway, there's our wheel. So when we go up here, we go File, Save As, and then we're going to go Wheels, and it's automatically in the same folder. So we hit Save. All right, so now if you want to do a mock-up of what the vehicle is going to look like, you can pull this window down, right? And you can actually select these two layers like this, and you can drag those over on top of here, and then you have your wheel. So the wheel's going to look, I don't know, something like that. Doesn't really matter. You can put it on the outside if you wanted to. But I can resize this in Premiere. So anyway, let's just turn that off. And we saved the wheel, and we saved this. Make sure it's saved. So now that that's saved, let's go ahead and open up Premiere. All right. So we're opening up Premiere. And let me drag it over into the screen that I'm actually working on. Da, 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 da. All right. So now, let me bring this over here. And we're going to have to lower that down. All right, so anyway, there's our Premiere. And what we want to do is, I use a blue background. So what I'm going to want to do is on this blue background is I hit File and I hit Import. So let's go down here to, I have a folder called Backgrounds, and I've got tons of backgrounds. And I'll hit Search for blue. And this is a color blue that I have, and it's something I use. And I'll pull it down here in the timeline. And now we have blue, and this is what the blue looks like. And it's just like a sky blue, but that's what I use to chroma key the animations. So let's drag this back out of the way. Now, what we want to do is File, Import, and you can import the whole folder if you want to, or you can import just the files. So what we're looking for is race car. So where is that folder? Looking for race car. There it is right here. So you can click that and go down here and import folder. So what it's doing now, it's going to import the folders. And it says, do you want to mash the layers and everything? And yes, I'm going to merge the layers. Merge the layers. Okay, so do you see up here? It has the whole folder of race car. Now we can open that up. Now let's go ahead and bring the race car down. I'm going to put it on another layer here. Okay, so this is what the screen looks like now. You see we added the race car on top of the blue background. So let me move this back out of the way. So now what we want to do is take the wheels, and we'll bring the wheels down here below race car and make that the same length. Let me raise this up a layer. Now what I'm going to do is, let me show you, you know what I should do? I probably should minimize this so you can see what I'm working on. All right, so now we've got the wheel and the race car. So what you want to do is you want to select on the race car, go up here and click Motion, and let's position that race car so we can have room for that wheel. Now we go down here and click the wheel. And then let's go down here and motion the wheel. Let's put the wheel right back here. And you can scale the wheel as well. All right, so now we've got the back wheel. Now to get that wheel to roll, what you want to do is go over here to rotation. And this is what you call the keyframe area. And this is how you get stuff to move with keyframes. So we want to add a point of rotation here. And you see that little point there? And then we're going to go all the way down here to the end of the animation, and you can see the wheel here. Now watch when I scroll this rotation. You see the wheel moving? See how that moves? So I don't know, I'm going to make it probably like, I don't know, 60 rotations. And then I'm going to play this animation. All right, let's hit play. And there's the wheel rotating. Okay, you see that? That's pretty easy, isn't it? So now, let's go back. Let's stop the animation. Let's go back up here. And where this end point is, I'd like to scroll in all the way because sometimes it won't show the last frame. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this all the way over to the very last frame. Scroll in all the way. You notice I scrolled in and look, it's still the not last frame. So you go over here, make it the last frame. All right. So now we have the wheel. I'm going to scrub it. And you see the wheel turning there? I'll play it again so you can see it. All right. So now what you want to do is go down here to this layer. And you want to select the layer that you want to paste to. And unselect the layer that's selected. You right click, hit copy. And come down here. And then hit edit, paste. So now the other wheel has been pasted. So you want to highlight it. And then you want to go up here to motion. And then you want to put that wheel in the front. Okay. So now the wheel's on the front. I don't like how it's situated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise the car up a little bit more. So select the car layer. And let's position that baby on up. I don't like how the space difference is, so I'm going to take the wheel that's in the back. And an easy way to see what wheel you're working on, if you hit this little eyeball, it'll show you which one's selected. So now that this layer is selected, I'm going to go up here to scale, and I'm going to make this wheel bigger. And I'm going to move it up some. All right, now that the wheel's bigger, it's kind of hitting the side of that, but that's okay. You know, to be honest with you, we can rotate the car. Go up here and hit rotate. Oop, I hit scale. Sorry about that. Let's hit rotate, and we can jack that baby on up. And, of course, you got to move it over a little bit. So now there's a little bit of space in the wheel well, and there's our car. So let's go ahead and hit play and see what happens. Whoa, look at that. Our car is a-moving. Now, sometimes I put puppets inside the car. And so let's go ahead and put a puppet in there. So what we want to do is raise the race car layer up one. Let's go over here and hit import. So now we're going to import a picture that I already have of a puppet. And let's go to, I have a lot of files. But I have, it's not there. It's under captured. Let's go over here to puppet stills. Now these are all the stills that I have of the puppets. I have ones of them already sitting in a car. So I'm going to look for one. Let's put Timmy's favorite color is red. So like I said, I already have a Photoshop document that is already cleaned up and everything. So I'm looking for 133. And 133 is the Timmy Uppet. where is 133? 133, 133, where are you? I see 134, oh, here it is right here. So then you hit open. Go down here and hit open. So now it's asking again, do you want to merge all layers? Yes. So then we can pull this little picture down to the timeline of Timmy, and I'll go ahead and make it the length. So now we want to select, hit motion, and scale. And we're going to scale him to fit in that car. So now we're going to move him down. And now Timmy's in the car. Of course, you can make him bigger, make his head bigger and stuff, but I kind of like to put him in there like that. So now Timmy is in that car. Let's see our animation. All right, wheels are rolling. So now what you want to do is you want to go up here, hit save. I like to save, that way everything's okay. And then you go over here and hit file, and then you hit export media, and I'm going to export it into H.264, and I'm going to do it as an HD 1080p at 29 frames per second. So then you click that. Now we're going to name it something. You click on this little sequence, and then we're going to go back to race car, and we'll make it sequence 1, and then we're going to hit OK, and now you hit export. Now it's exporting into that file folder. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go and look at our little animation of Timmy driving a car. Let's check it out. Sitting and waiting, waiting and sitting, sitting and waiting, waiting and sitting. I basically made the animation too long. It's actually, if you look down here, it's actually 1 minute and 31 seconds. We didn't really need that long of an animation for this, but we did anyway. So sitting and waiting, waiting and sitting, sitting and waiting. Now I'm going to show you, after this is done, I'm going to show you how I move it across the screen. And there's several ways to do this. So let's go up here. Let's go import that little animation that I made. And if you see here, here it is, sequence 1, and it's that little race car. So let's go ahead and open it. Let's go ahead and delete all these layers here. Now we'll bring in the race car. Okay, so you can see the race cars in there. And then I've got some backgrounds already made. So I'm going to go ahead and import a background that I've already done. And the background is, it's called a crowd scene. And it's supposed to be like in a stadium with people sitting in the background. So there's our stadium. Now what we want to do is we want to go over here to video effects. And then we go down to, where is it? Keying. And then we click on color key and then drag it over to the car. So now you go up here and you select the color that you want to remove. You click it, and then you hit the color tolerance. You see how that disappeared? And I usually do like 120 or something so it doesn't make anything disappear. So now that we remove the background of the car, there's our car. Let's play the animation. Okay, he's standing still. So what you want to do is you want to go up here, open up the motion, move the slider over, and then we're going to put a position. Drop that position and move him out of the way. So now that we got that position, then we go over here, click here, and then we move him all the way to the other side. Like that. Now, let's play this short animation. Let's see what it does. I'll do the sound effect for it so you can imagine what the sound of the engine is. Here we go. He's going really slow. Man, this is so cool. I'm going really slow. Man, that is cool. Okay, well, that's our short animation. I hope you liked it. And I hope I taught you something about it. I like doing this sometimes. Okay, guys, well, that's our animation. I hope I was able to help you out. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was able to help you out with your animation. I love working with Adobe, Photoshop, and Premiere. To me, they're real easy. There's a hair flying around here on my father's. So anyway, you guys, I hope you enjoy it. Next time, we may do some more animation or maybe some special effects. I don't know, but stay tuned. If you like this video, comment, like, subscribe, do all the hoops and jumps that you gotta do to be able to see our newest video. Okay, guys, until next time, we'll see you later on the TimmyTube Network.
Jigga bum, jigga bum, jigga bum, jump. I love some Chucky. I like beef chutney. Beef chutney. Beef chutney. Beef chutney. Beef chutney. Beef chutney. I like a big fat beef chutney.